Okay, folks, so, man, Andy. I will say this much. I'd rather her turn off Dr. Vaughn so he opts to leave. And I don't mean just leaving the penthouse in the last episode, but I mean leaving any sort of ideas of getting together with her. Essentially, putting himself in the position of Robin and Jordan and other men before him, men who have their lives sabotaged by Andrea Barnes, who then just moves on with her life like she's done nothing at all. Hence why Penelope is one of my favorite characters, because she was never afraid of calling Andi out for who she truly is. And Hudson, even though he killed my baby, he did the exact same thing. Rightfully called out Andi for who she really is. Someone who leaves destruction and chaos in her wake and doesn't give a crap about the people she steps on to get to where she wants to be. Now, for whatever reason, I don't know why, Andi all of a sudden is more like quadruple guessing herself as to whether or not she should have sex with Dr. Vaughn, which has not stopped her in the past at all. I mean, not trying to keep a scoreboard here, but hasn't this been one of the longest periods we've known Andi to not be having sex with somebody? Because I'm going back to season 8. Season 8 picked up where season 7 left off. The whole investigation of the stabbing. Her and Jordan were not together whatsoever. She was pretty much benched by the law firm during the investigation. And then we had a 1 month time jump before the finale. So that was a month and some change. So pretty much about, let's just say, 5 weeks. And this season picked up exactly where season 8 left off. And with Danny clarifying that it's been less than a week since Tony quit his job. Andi has been, and it feels weird to even calculate this, but hey, these are the characters, so I gotta do what I gotta do. It's feasible that Andi has been celibate for about 6 weeks now, because her and Jordan were not a thing in season 8. Her and Robin, I cannot remember. I don't even think they kissed in season 8. They were about to, but then Andi initiated it, but then she stopped it before they actually locked lips. Her and Gary never had anything going on that season. Yeah, so I'm surprised she lasted this long. Unless she had some, peen off screen. I don't know. But she goes into this situation. She instigates a romantic evening with Dr. Vaughn. And then all of a sudden switches up on him, talking about some work, and then he opts to leave. Like I said, good on him to leave before Andi destroys his career. Because she's all about this case. And even though this case would, if she won, most likely see Dr. Cruz disbarred and, from there lose his license and whatnot. That way there will be no more Karens or any other of his victims, in the future. But Dr. Vaughn would possibly lose his license and his job. And then what is he going to do, So I think back to the first time these two went out, if you will. When Dr. Vaughn asked, would you like to grab dinner or something sometime? And then Andi just expedited it, because I believe this was the first time when she acted funky towards Fatima. Oh, yeah. This is when she found out about those sports documents or contracts. And she was in her feelings about whatever. And she opted to say, you know what? Let's go get drinks tonight. Really? And essentially when they met up at the restaurant, I don't know if it was Billy Jake's. I want to say it was the steam plant. Dr. Vaughn, didn't mince words. He pretty much got down to the nitty gritty. Hey, time is short. I'm a doctor. You're an attorney. I don't have a lot of free time. So I just want to cut to the chase, like what you're looking for. Wasn't his thing like two truths and a lie? And the thing is, given how eager, or let me just put it this way, Vaughn asked to schedule dinner or drinks at some point. He wasn't asking to do something that day. Andi was the one who expedited things by saying, hey, let's get drinks tonight. So in Vaughn's mind, you'd think, okay, we're actually possibly having a date, or at least trying to get to know each other like that. And Andi turned it into work. All right. Then from there, they'd have a couple of conversations. If I'm not mistaken, the next day when she got to, yeah, that's right. She got to work, saw the flowers in her office, assumed they were for Dr. Vaughn to her, but was dumbfounded when it turned out, oh, these are Fatima's. And then from there, they talked again. And I believe this was in reference to Karen missing. And he pops up at the law firm. And it's really hard to track this because the writers just made it so forced and kind of cringe in terms of them making these two seemingly have something going on when it just came smooth the heck out of nowhere. And then he started making out with her. Then her mom shows up. Then later that night when she's leaving the store, she's on the phone with him. And he's like, oh, you want me to, it's like, hey, you want to come by? Oh, you need me to bring anything? Just bring yourself. And then from there, he comes over. She has the wine or champagne and everything. And, so how was your day? And then she's acting all flirty. You know what? Let me change into something more comfortable. And then she takes forever to pick something to wear. And Vaughn's like, are you okay? Oh, yeah, I'm just having trouble figuring out what I want to wear. Well, I mean, nothing. If that's an option, I'm okay with that. So when she comes out, she's wearing just some random PJs, which, again, I think she looks adorable in. But it just completely went against the mood that she set. The tone for the evening that she set when she invited him over, even going so far as to insinuate that they continue what they started at the law firm that morning. So when he's just, confused, she offers tea. And then every time he tries to, get his bearings about the situation, she wants to bring up the case and everything. He starts yawning and then just ups and leaves. So what I hope doesn't happen is that the show paints or has Andi painted as Dr. Vaughn being a jerk. Because, the show could do what they did with Tony and a few other characters and ruin them, because it would be awful if Dr. Vaughn is written to, I guess you could say, go completely hands off on the Dr. Cruz case. Like, you know what, I ain't helping out because Andi didn't give it up. That would just make him look like a complete a-hole. And then Andi has the right to go, see, men are nothing. It's just like, no, you're the one who was the massive tease. That's all you did. You were the one that made this man think something was going to happen, only to then switch up on him. Because in 2025, you made me burn my gas coming over in the middle of the night, thinking something's going to happen, and then you pull this one. Nah, I'm good. So this woman is something else. She will make these men who are not Gary go through the ringer before she gives them sex. But then for Gary, she will literally drop the panties so he can sniff them. Yes, if you forgot, that was a thing in season 7. But as I said then, I am not kink shaming, but it just felt like a random character trait to keep as a running gag in the show. But I do feel like Andi, there was absolutely zero reason to have this situation where she and Dr. Vaughn had anything even hinting at romance going on. The storyline of a doctor conflicted on morals versus his career, helping Andi get justice, that was fine. That was fine. You did not need to force any sort of romance thing going on. And now let's not even talk about the Officer Green thing. That's just a whole nother way to cycle in some unnecessary drama with, Andi and Danny are going to come at odds when they find out they've been messing with the same guy. Either this is going to bring them closer together, or they'll just go at each other's throats even more. It's just weird. So, yeah, what do you think is going to happen with Dr. Vaughn? Will he continue to help Andi with the case? Will he opt not to due to Andi being a tease? Why is Andi all of a sudden having doubts about whether or not, going so far as to ask her friends, asking Sabrina if she should have sex with this dude, when it's like, wait, what? Did you call her when you wanted to have sex with Jordan or Robin or Gary? Like, this is so weird. But let's talk about it in the comments, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.